I know very little about Ghost Rider. It's not a comic that I care that much about. The character always seemed a bit basic to me. It's never floated me boat. So to say I know very little about the bad guys in Ghost Rider is to be quite generous. I had no idea who this was. Blackheart. His name is Blackheart. He's a son of a demon, son of Satan. I don't know. He's the Antichrist or some shit. I don't really care that much about him, but I saw him and I thought, I'm sure I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure this is a legend. Picked it up for £2.50. And yeah, as with most of the cheapo stuff that I find, it spent its time in the fodder bin with no idea what to do. He's got cool hands, he's got cool feet. But there are some glaring problems. I don't know how he's standing right now because he has the loosest legs you've ever seen on a figure other than Charles Xavier. If it didn't have the tail, this would not stand at all. But I've jimmied the tail so much that sometimes it works. Miraculously, it does it right on. Every time I've tried to do this off camera, it hasn't worked. Now that I've put the camera on, it seems to want to work. Fine by me. But yeah, this is it. It's fine. It's cool. It's got a really cool sculpt. It's got lots of detail on it. It seems like a pretty unique sculpt. I don't think I've ever seen this body reused. The coloring's nice. It looks great in my opinion. I think it's a really cool looking thing. Let's have a closer look at the details. I mean, look at all the bumps on the. That's really cool. Tybers have took a lot of time to make this and seemingly do this right. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know a lot about the character, but looking at some art online, it's pretty damn close. Like, you can't get much closer. This is the kind of thing that I understand why the Toy Biz Marvel Legends fans kind of resent Hasbro. I think Hasbro have got a lot better. Like, the Spider-Man wave, I think is, other than the fact that they've got lots of very soft joints, like on my boomerang, the arm was just warped. I had to blow dry it to like get it to stiffen up and like fit the joint in properly. They've got problems. The main problem I seem to see is their lack of detailed new sculpts. Like, a lot of the things, if they can't make it out of a Bucky Cap body and just paint, they don't seem to want to invest too much into it. Then again, you do have like SDCC exclusive Star-Lord, which I think had a lot of sculpted detail, but you know, like, for the most part, the large chunk of stuff is totally reused with paint deco changes, cosmetic changes. No huge new sculpts outside of heads and sometimes hands. But this is just a totally unique piece. I'll pull this back so you can get a better look at it whilst I ramble. It's a totally unique sculpt, and it's really interesting to look at, and I appreciate it a lot. Tybers seem to really like to dwell on these things and do it right. But that being said, I like the way Hasbro is doing things now. I'm not sure which I prefer, which side I come on. I'm a more of a Toy Biz fan, or I'm a more of a Hasbro fan. I haven't made that decision yet, but with stuff like this, I lean towards Toy Biz because they seem to put in a lot of effort. And I don't know if Toy Biz had the same shipping problems as Hasbro seem to have over here, but Hasbro are just the worst at getting stuff outside of America. In England, like I said in the previous video, we're still on the Spider-Man wave, and there's only so many times I can pop into a toy store with the hopes that maybe this month the Guardians of the Galaxy wave is finally out. Can I finally be disappointed by not getting Rocket Raccoon? And there's no information out there specifically for outside of the USA collectors, and it's very frustrating, and I don't know where I'm meant to go to get this information that I so desperately want, but we just seem to be in the dark, and then one day stuff eventually turns up about 6 months after it should have been out originally. But yes, back to the figure. Less complaining. This is a really cool figure. I just wish I cared about Ghost Rider enough to do anything with it, to display it. I don't even have a Ghost Rider. I don't have any Ghost Rider figures. I don't care about Ghost Rider at all. He doesn't float me boat. But this is a cool figure. It's got cool paint details and stuff. Really, it's all in the sculpt, but like they've done some shading and stuff, and I really appreciate it. They've even done some weird shading on the tail. I'll show you the back. Look, just so many bumps. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't super hard to do, but just so much detail. It's incredible. To the articulation, he doesn't look up very much at all. Looks very far down. Got the diaphragm. I can't be good for you. It's got the waist swivel, the arms. I'm just gonna say they don't move very much, but they move. I don't want to keep making that noise with it because it just feels like it's going to explode. But it's got the double jointed elbows. It's got the mid forearm swivel. It's got the wrist joint. It's got nice loose hand joint. No thumb articulation on this one. Leg. It's got an upper thigh swivel. It goes forward. It does the full Van Damme. Hey, Charlie! That was a different movie. It has double jointed knees. Boom. It has that ankle thingy. It has tootsie articulation. I'm not going to complain about this one because it's a monster. And I can't really complain about it not looking human. And it has ankle pivot. The Toyba's ankle pivot that I'm not a huge fan of. It just looks weird. Not so much on this character. It kind of fits. It's fine. I'm fine with it. And there's him doing a kung fu chop. Yeah. Yes, Blackheart. You're an ugly son of a bitch.